Survival video games captivate players by blending challenge, exploration, resource management, and immersion into a thrilling experience. With open-world aspect, it can significantly elevate the experience. So today, we are gonna see top 21 indie survival open-world game for PC. We start with Terraria. It's a captivating sandbox game that blends survival and exploration within its vast procedurally generated worlds. Players find themselves in a dynamic environment where they must gather resources, build structures, and fend off various threats to survive. The survival aspect is deeply intertwined with the environment, requiring players to manage health, resources, and strategic planning to thrive. Players can explore sprawling underground caverns, lush forests, and floating islands, each teeming with unique biomes and treasures. Subnautica is a survival game set in the vast and mysterious depths of an alien ocean. Players take on the role of a stranded space explorer who must navigate the underwater world after crash landing on an aquatic planet. Players require to manage resources, craft equipment, and maintain their health while fending off hostile creatures and environmental hazards. Oxygen management is a critical component, adding an extra layer of challenge as players dive deeper into the ocean's unexplored regions. The open-world gameplay of Subnautica is truly immersive, offering a stunningly beautiful and eerie underwater landscape to explore. Don't Starve is a challenging survival game set in a dark, whimsical world teeming with strange creatures and hidden dangers. Players are thrown into an unforgiving wilderness and must gather resources, craft tools, and build structures to survive. The game's survival mechanics are complex, requiring careful management of hunger, sanity, and health. Players must explore their surroundings to find food and materials, while also fending off dangerous beasts and environmental hazards. The procedurally generated world is filled with diverse biomes, each offering unique resources and challenges. The Forest is an immersive survival horror game that plunges players into a mysterious and terrifying environment after a plane crash leaves them stranded on a deserted island. The game's survival mechanics are intricate, requiring players to gather resources, craft tools, and build shelters to protect themselves from both the elements and the island's inhabitants. Food, water, and shelter are essential for staying alive, but the real challenge comes from the island's cannibalistic mutants, which require players to balance stealth, combat, and strategic planning to survive. Valheim is a Viking-themed survival game set in a procedurally generated, open-world environment inspired by Norse mythology. Players start in the peaceful meadows, but must venture into more dangerous biomes like dark forests, snowy mountains, and swamps to gather resources, craft tools, and build impressive structures. The survival elements are deeply rooted in the need to manage health and stamina, find food, and protect oneself from the various creatures that inhabit the world. The game emphasizes cooperative play, allowing up to 10 players to team up and face the challenges together, making survival a shared adventure. Palworld is an exciting multiplayer open-world survival and crafting game where players can explore, build, farm, and work alongside mysterious creatures called pals. The game combines elements of monster catching, training, and base building, offering a unique blend of genres. Players can capture and train over 100 different pals, each with its own set of skills and attributes. These pals can assist in various tasks, such as item collection, production, farming, and even electricity generation. Players can team up with friends for shared adventures or engage in battles, steal pals, and compete against each other. Project Zomboid is a hardcore survival game set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. Players must navigate a vast, open-world map, scavenging for resources, crafting tools, and building shelters to stay alive. The game's survival mechanics are unforgiving, requiring players to manage hunger, thirst, fatigue, and health while avoiding or fighting off hordes of zombies. Crafting and building are essential for creating weapons, fortifications, and other survival gear, adding depth to the gameplay. Players can explore various locations, from suburban areas to rural landscapes, each with its own challenges and opportunities.
Pray.
Rain World is a challenging survival platformer where players control a creature known as a slugcat in a hostile, rain-soaked world. The game features a simulated ecosystem with dynamic AI, where players must navigate through over 1,600 rooms across 12 diverse regions. The slugcat must gather food, avoid predators, and find safe hibernation rooms before the deadly rain arrives. The game's difficulty lies in its minimal guidance, requiring players to learn and adapt to the environment, much like a rat surviving on subway tracks. The open-world aspect of Rain World is both beautiful and treacherous, with ancient ruins, hidden passages, and a variety of creatures that inhabit the world.
What fate?
Darkwood is a survival horror game. The game is set in a dense, mysterious forest where players must scavenge for resources, craft items, and explore the ever-changing environment. During the day, players can freely roam the forest, searching for supplies and clues, while at night, they must find shelter and defend themselves against various creatures and dangers. The gameplay focuses heavily on resource management and survival. Players need to carefully ration their food, water, and other supplies while crafting weapons and tools to fend off threats. Astroneer is a space exploration and sandbox game. Set in the 25th century, players take on the role of an astronaut exploring and reshaping distant planets and moons in search of valuable resources. The game features a procedurally generated universe, meaning each playthrough offers a unique experience with different planets to explore and terraform. The gameplay revolves around resource gathering, crafting, and base building. Players use a variety of tools to collect resources, reshape the terrain, and build vehicles for easier exploration. The game also supports 4-player co-op, allowing friends to join in and collaborate on building bases and exploring the cosmos together. In Raft, you find yourself stranded on a small raft in the middle of the vast ocean with nothing but a hook made of old plastic. Your primary goal is to survive by gathering resources, crafting equipment, and building your raft into a floating home. The gameplay focuses on resource management, crafting, and exploration. You'll need to use your hook to catch debris floating by, scavenge reefs and islands for resources, and fend off dangerous ocean creatures like sharks. As you progress, you can expand your raft, build structures, grow crops, and even explore underwater for hidden treasures. The Long Dark is a first-person survival game set in the frigid Canadian wilderness after a mysterious geomagnetic disaster. Players take on the role of a crash-landed bush pilot named Mackenzie, who must navigate the harsh environment, manage their body temperature, hunger, thirst, and fatigue, and fend off wildlife threats. The game emphasizes realistic survival mechanics, requiring players to scavenge for resources, build shelters, and make strategic decisions to stay alive. The game offers 2 main modes, Story Mode and Sandbox Mode. Scrap Mechanic is a creative sandbox game where players can build and customize their own machines and vehicles. The game emphasizes imagination and ingenuity, allowing players to create anything from transforming vehicles to sneaky traps. The possibilities are endless with Scrap Mechanic's powerful tools, and players can explore a vast, machine-filled world while collaborating with friends in multiplayer mode. In survival mode, players must gather resources, craft tools, and fend off hostile farm bots while trying to repair their spaceship. Dysmantle is an open-world post-apocalyptic survival game where players emerge from a bunker into a world overrun by mutated monsters and nature reclaiming its territory. The game focuses on breaking down objects to gather resources, crafting tools and weapons, and exploring a handcrafted map filled with mysteries. Players can level up their character, choose skills, and engage in combat with the creatures that inhabit the world. In Dysmantle, players can build outposts, farm exotic plants, solve puzzles, fish, and cook recipes for stat and ability upgrades.
The story of a lifetime. There's a bad guy.
Crashlands is an action-adventure game set on a foreign planet after your spaceship crash lands. The game combines elements of crafting, combat, and exploration. Players start by gathering resources and crafting basic tools and weapons to survive in the alien world. As you progress, you'll tame and milk alien beasts, befriend locals, and take on quests to uncover the secrets of the planet. The combat system in Crashlands is engaging and strategic. Players can craft a variety of weapons and armor to take on different enemies, each with unique abilities and weaknesses.
Set it and forget it like an infomercial actor with our oven-like workstations that
Feel the Snow is an action-adventure game with a unique blend of sandbox, RPG, and survival elements. Players can choose from two main characters, Annie and Willie, who are cute snow creatures adapted to the extreme winter climate. The game features an exciting storyline where players explore a dynamically generated world, complete quests, and engage in dynamic battles using a variety of weapons and skills. The gameplay involves building and crafting to create a cozy home and defend it from enemies. Players can also solve puzzles and face challenging boss battles. Rust is a multiplayer survival game developed by Facebunch Studios. The game is set on a procedurally generated island where players start with nothing but a rock and a torch. The primary goal is to survive by gathering resources, building shelters, and crafting tools and weapons. Players must contend with environmental hazards, wildlife, and other players who may be hostile. The gameplay is highly dynamic and challenging, with players needing to manage their hunger, thirst, and health while exploring the island and scavenging for materials. I Am Future. Cozy Apocalypse Survival is a relaxing single-player survival game set in a flooded, post-apocalyptic city. Players start on a rooftop and must explore their surroundings to gather resources, craft tools, and build a cozy camp. The game involves farming, fishing, cooking, and even automating chores with the help of cute robots. Players can dismantle old appliances to create futuristic gadgets and uncover the mystery behind the catastrophe. The gameplay focuses on creating a sustainable and comfortable living space while managing the challenges of the environment. Breathedge is a survival horror game set in the vastness of outer space. Players find themselves stranded on a crashed spaceship, tasked with surviving in the harsh environment while uncovering the mystery behind the crash. The gameplay revolves around scavenging for resources, crafting tools, and managing oxygen levels to stay alive. Players must explore the wreckage, solve puzzles, and interact with various objects to progress through the story. The game also features a unique companion, an immortal chicken, which adds a quirky element to the otherwise tense atmosphere. The Isle is a multiplayer open-world dinosaur survival game where players take on the role of various dinosaur species. The primary goal is to survive in a hostile environment by hunting, growing, and avoiding predators. Players start as small, weak dinosaurs and must eat, drink, and avoid dangers to grow stronger. The game features a realistic ecosystem where players must manage their diet and health, hunt for food, and avoid becoming prey themselves. The gameplay emphasizes realistic dinosaur behavior and survival mechanics. Players can sniff out prey, call for help, pounce on targets, and even spawn in new dinosaurs. One Hour One Life is a unique multiplayer survival game where players start as babies and age 1 year per minute. The The goal is to survive by finding food, water, and shelter and learning essential skills from other players. Players must navigate various biomes, gather resources, and avoid dangers like wolves and snakes. The game emphasizes cooperation and community, as players can help each other and pass down knowledge and tools to future generations. Players experience the entire life cycle from birth to old age within an hour, and their actions can impact the survival of their offspring and the community.
Build civilization together. Who knows where we'll end up?
So that is the video. Which game is your favorite? Or you have another game that not included in the list? Please let me know in the comment. Thank you for watching, everyone, and see you in the next video.